The Festival of the New Yam, a long novel-style story about an Igbo celebration. Number 1. The Harmattan breeze arrived softly in Umuowa, carrying with it the scent of dry leaves, distant wood smoke, and something deeper, something sacred. The village had been waiting for this season, not just because it marked the end of the farming year, but because it meant one thing. The new Yam Festival was near. In Igbo land, yam was not just food. Yam was life. Yam was pride. Yam was wealth. Yam was a gift from the earth and a blessing from the ancestors. And no one ate the new harvest until the gods, the elders, and the entire community had celebrated it. Chapter 1. The Return of Adaeze. Adaeze stepped down from the rusty bus that brought her from the city. Her feet touched the red soil of Umuowa, and instantly she felt a kind of warmth that Lagos could never give her. Her mother's village. Her father's homeland. Home. She adjusted her bag on her shoulder and looked around. The village was already transforming. Palm fronds were being tied around compounds. Young boys ran past carrying drums. Women laughed loudly as they scrubbed pots and swept courtyards. The air was alive. Adaeze! She turned sharply. A tall woman in a bright wrapper rushed toward her with open arms. Mama! Her mother hugged her tightly, as if she wanted to squeeze the city out of her daughter. You came, Mama said breathlessly. How could I miss the festival? Adaeze smiled. Mama held her face. This one will be special. Adaeze had heard those words every year, but something in her mother's voice made her curious. What do you mean? Mama glanced around and lowered her voice. This year, you will understand what it truly means to be Igbo. Chapter 2. The village prepares. The next morning, the village woke before sunrise. Roosters crowed, mortars pounded, smoke rose from outdoor kitchens. Adaeze followed Mama to the marketplace, where preparations had become a festival on their own. Old women sat in circles peeling cocoyam and seasoning goat meat. Children carried baskets of vegetables. Traders shouted over one another. Fresh palm oil, ugwu leaves, spices from Nkwo market. But the most important thing was yam. Massive yams were displayed like treasures. Some were as long as a child's leg, proudly laid out on raffia mats. Mama touched one carefully. The best yam must be offered first, she whispered. To who? Adaeze asked. To the land. Adaeze frowned. Mama smiled. You will see. That evening, the village square filled with rehearsals. Masquerades practiced their movements like spirits learning how to walk among humans. Drummers tested rhythms that echoed through the night. Boom, boom, boom. Adaeze felt the drums in her chest. She had attended festivals before, but in the city, everything felt like performance. Here it felt like the village was awakening something ancient. Chapter 3. The Night of Stories. Before I continue, please hit the subscribe button to watch more of Igbo culture. On the eve of the festival, the elders gathered children under the moonlight. A fire crackled, throwing shadows against the mud walls. Adaeze sat with her cousins. An old man, Chief Okori, cleared his throat. My children, he began, do you know why we celebrate the new yam? A little boy raised his hand.
Because yam is sweet. Laughter erupted. Chief Okori chuckled. Yes, yam is sweet. But that is not the reason. He leaned forward, his eyes shining. In the old days, our people lived by the soil. Every harvest was survival. Yam was a sacred covenant between man and earth. He pointed his walking stick at the sky. We thank Chinook for life. We honor our ancestors who tilled this land before us.
Adaeze listened closely. And, the chief continued, we remind ourselves that community is wealth. No man eats alone. The fire popped. Adaeze felt goosebumps. For the first time, the festival seemed bigger than dancing. It was identity. Chapter 4. The Sacred Morning. The festival day arrived with golden sunlight. Adaeze woke to the sound of flutes and drums. The whole village wore new clothes. Men dressed in white isiagu with red caps. Women wore wrappers of brilliant colors, beads around their necks like royalty. Mama dressed Adaeze carefully. You look like a true daughter of the land, she said proudly. They walked to the shrine where the oldest elder held the first yam. Silence fell. The elder lifted the yam high. "O great ancestors, O Chineke, accept our gratitude." He cut it slowly. The first taste was offered. Only then could the village eat. Only then could celebration begin. Adaeze watched, heart pounding. She understood now. This was not just food. This was sacred Thanksgiving. Chapter 5. Dance of the Spirits. By afternoon, the village square exploded with life. Drummers played thunder. Women danced with graceful shoulders. Young men performed acrobatic displays. Then came the masquerades. Tall, mysterious, covered in colorful cloth and raffia, they moved like spirits from another world. Children screamed and laughed, running behind their mothers. Adaeze stood frozen. One masquerade approached her slowly. The crowd murmured. "That is Odogwu Muo," someone whispered. "The Great Spirit." The masquerade stopped in front of Adaeze. Its mask stared directly into her soul. Then it raised its hand and placed a kola nut at her feet. A blessing. Adaeze trembled. Mama's eyes filled with tears. "The ancestors have seen you," she whispered. Adaeze swallowed hard. For the first time in her life, she felt chosen. She felt rooted. Chapter 6. Feast of Oneness. As the sun began to set, food covered long tables. Pounded yam and agusi soup, ofe and sala, spicy goat meat, palm wine, roasted fish, fried plantain, laughter filled the air. People who had quarreled for years ate together. Strangers became family. Adaeze sat beside an old woman she had never met. The woman smiled. "You are the daughter who returned." "Yes," Adaeze said softly. The woman nodded. "Never forget, my child. Festivals are how we remember who we are." Adaeze looked around at the dancing, the songs, the smoke, the joy. She realized something. In the city she had been living. But here, she was belonging. Chapter 7. A New Beginning. That night fireworks were not needed. The stars were enough. Adaeze sat outside her mother's house listening to distant drums fading into silence. Mama sat beside her. "So," Mama asked gently, "do you understand now?" Adaeze nodded. "The festival is not just celebration," she said. "It is history, it is gratitude, it is spirit." Mama smiled. "And it is home." Adaeze leaned her head on her mother's shoulder. For the first time in years, her heart felt full. The new Yam Festival had not only welcomed the harvest, it had welcomed her back to herself. The end. If you like and enjoy the story, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can watch more videos on Igbo cultures.